Ramsey Library Video Production is proud to present Tapping into Creativity, the 48-Hour Film Project, a brown bag talk by Ann Slatton and Dusty Abernathy.
Hi, I'm Ann Slatton. I teach film in the Mass Comm department, and this is Dusty Abernathy.
Hello.
He is our lab manager and my colleague, and interestingly, used to be one of my students. He is an alumni of UNCA. And so for a couple of years at least, we had opposing 48-hour film teams. And then this year was the first year that we got to work together, so that was fun for me. Okay. All right. So for those of you who don't know a lot about the 48-hour film project, it is an international festival. It takes place in 120 cities across the world. The goal is to produce a 4 to 7 minute film over the course of the weekend. And you have 1 minute for credits at the end, so you could have a total running time of 8 minutes. But if you have, 8 minutes and 1 second, you are automatically disqualified, which we saw happen unfortunately, to some really good films this summer. But the elements are that the film has to contain a specific genre that you pick out of a hat or, whatever, depending on what city you're in. A prop, a character that has a job that needs to be, part of the narrative, and a line of dialogue. And then you write, shoot, edit the film within 48 hours. So in Asheville, we usually meet at Asheville Pizza on Cox Avenue on Friday night around 6:30 and mingle and whatnot, and then at 7 o'clock we all draw our genres. It used to be that you could put your genre back if you got something totally crazy you didn't want and pick another one, but they've changed that, and now they have an and/or category. So you can choose one or the other. Since they started doing that for the past 2 years, I've done both just because it seemed like fun. Let's see. So the only thing that you can do ahead of time is sort of scout location. So you can get location releases and look around, but the truth is you never know what you're going to be getting. So we just try and get a wide variety of different locations. I don't know if this is going to work because we probably won't actually. We'll see. Voila. So I brought this up because I think it's kind of fun because this article just came out about how different cities do the 48, and in Berlin they put up they paint murals on the buildings. In Ho Chi Minh, they had a camera robot taking 1,000 frames per second images during the kickoff. They had a famous actor, so they do, a lot of different cities kind of do it up differently, which is fun. In Asheville, we typically get people from Greenville, South Carolina sometimes. We get people from all over the state. So some people do travel around and do it weekend after weekend. But personally for me, 1 weekend of sleeplessness is enough.
I think one thing to add to where you can do it in North Carolina. So not just Asheville does it. We were talking yesterday about there are 5 other cities in North Carolina alone that does it: Asheville, Charlotte, Greensboro, Wilmington, and I believe Raleigh has one as well. Mm-hmm. So we're not the only chapter in North Carolina, but we're definitely a fun chapter to be in because of the different types of people that come to Asheville. I think one of ours is actually one of the larger groups, or at least they say that it is each year, but we'll see.
Yeah, we typically have between 24, 25, and we've had up to 34 teams competing. So, so sometimes there'll be screening groups A, B, and C, and sometimes there'll be B and C, and they kind of split us into different groups. Like Dusty was saying, one of the fun things about Asheville is that there's a few teams that seem to compete just about every year. I started in 2006 actually as an actor. It was right after I started at UNCA, and I was still teaching summer stock theater. And so some of the other actors had a team, and I went on board with them. And after that experience, decided I wanted to have my own team because Yeah, I'm a control freak, I guess. No, but it was fun, but I really prefer to have my own team and not be in front of the camera. I like to be behind the camera. So, yeah, but Dusty had a team for a few years. We have another student that's in Mass Comm right now, Matthew Berger, who's also has a team and has been competing for at least 3 years.
I think,
or more.
Wow, yeah, maybe 5 years or so.
Oh, okay. Yeah, there's a family of grade school teachers and their husbands that have a team. They always do really well. And anyway, so it's kind of an opportunity for those of us who have been doing it for a while to see each other and see each other's films. So even while it's competitive, it's like a positive competition. It's always fun to see people's work. Okay, so I thought I would play this film that I'm going to show next because it's sort of about the 48. It's very meta. But this year, which was 2017, the character was Paul or Paula Wilhelm, hypochondriac. The line of dialogue was, "I'm waiting." The prop was a chair, and our genre was war, anti-war, and/or slapstick. So this year we actually won Best Director, Best Film. I can't remember all. We did really well this year. So.
I'm waiting. Okay. All right, here we go. It looks like our genre is war, anti-war, or slapstick.
Cool. Slapstick. Everyone loves comedy. Comedy always wins.
Yeah, we didn't win last year.
I know. Surrealist rom-com seemed like such a shoo-in.
Right. Yeah, but this year we have Larry, remember? His team won the last 2 years in a row. He's awesome, and he loves war.
All right, let's go with war.
Okay?
Okay, don't get distracted. The clock is ticking. Armies.
I know, but we need, like, big, like, weapons and stuff.
Okay. How great is this? It's only 7:30 and we already have a bit. Do you want to see it? Yeah, let's show it. Okay, let's go. Okay, ready? Whoops! Ta-da!
Actually, we've decided we're going for war.
Yeah, it seems safer. You okay, Sarah?
Listen, I really, really want to be in it this year. Like, I'm sick of always holding the boom and just doing craft services. Seriously, Paul? Okay, I thought that this year we were supposed to be working together as a team. Okay, well, we already have most of the props that we would need. Just let us pitch the idea.
Kelsey, we've been doing this for about 10 years. I think we know what works and what doesn't.
Oh, hey, Larry's here. Hey. Right.
I am so pumped for war! Yes!
Wait, are you writing already?
No? What do you mean?
Well, I mean, I thought we were gonna concept together, as a team.
We have decided we're doing war.
No, because you haven't even heard our idea yet.
Yeah.
You guys are gonna love it. Well then, if you're not writing, then you won't mind if we borrow the computer.
Okay, attention troops. Last year, we took entirely too much time writing. And we're not gonna do that again this year because this is my last 48. This is my final battle. And I am gonna be getting my bed rest if I'm gonna be starring in this thing tomorrow, okay? I'm sorry, but I have a little tickle in my throat or something.
There's no need to stress. I'll type out my concept and then you can type out yours and the best one wins.
Fine. I'll take my laptop back now.
Almost done.
I want my laptop now.
running away with big clown shoes.
Yes.
Oh my God, that's a great idea.
Yes, it is very hard to type with everyone breathing on me.
We have a drone.
I don't know if we're gonna have time to get the whole drone thing going. I mean, it's pretty late.
Okay, we'll drop the drone.
Sorry about that.
$5 a.m., people. What we need is a bunker. Right?
Write that down.
No,
Yeah.
don't write that down.
I know. Germ warfare.
Too real.
Too scary.
Hands off the laptop, and no one gets hurt.
Sure. You know, no problem. I feel a little cold.
This means war! And then we advance, right? Yeah. You're never gonna see it coming.
It's Sunday.
We've got nothing to turn in.
Ooh, actually, I just finished our script, so slapstick it is.
There's no time. We don't have time to film.
Damn it, people. I mean, we had one job and 48 hours to do it in. This is really not how I wanted my last 48-hour film festival to end.
Hey guys. Oh, I filmed some stuff on my phone, and I put sound effects on it because Bruce said that he wanted good audio. I think we could turn it in. I figure we should call it Stooges of War.
Yeah, all right.
Can we go home then?
Yes, that sounds very nice.
Hey, let's have a look.
Yeah.
Nice hair.
This was fun.
Next year?
Yeah, absolutely.
I think we're a good team.
Yeah, we had fun that year. I really wanted to do something meta, so the war slapstick thing worked out, and luckily we've never had a 48 that's actually gone that way, so it's all been good. So how it works, usually for our team UNCA, I put a call out just to all the Mass Comm students in the spring and all the previous team members from the year before. So even if they've graduated, if they're still checking their email account or if I have a new one for them, I just say, this is the weekend, who's available, who wants to do it, and let me know if you want me to take you off this list. And so we have had several people that have done it for, the whole time, basically. So we have a lot of alum on the team. And then we get new people every year. Some, take a year off. Brian, who played the sort of comic relief in that one with the chicken and all that stuff. He graduated, didn't do it the summer before last, has been working. He was filming sports for UNCA, and then so he was around and he heard about it, so he joined our team again this year. So it's fun. It's fun to be able to maintain contact with a lot of the students that way. I really enjoy that. So usually we have a meeting in May before everyone leaves for break because it's typically either the actual project in Asheville is either Father's Day weekend or the weekend after.
Yeah,
right?
So this year they changed it on us, which was good.
Yeah.
The last 5 years they've been doing it Father's Day weekend.
Yeah.
This year they changed it to the weekend after that. So that was really nice. Everyone
Yeah.
got to see their father.
Yeah, that was nice. Or not come home and just be a total wreck
Exactly.
at
Yeah.
7:30 at night on Sunday, like Happy Father's Day.
Mm-hmm.
So for my husband, when I had little kids, basically the whole time I've been doing this, I'm just like, Happy Father's Day. See you when it's over. Have fun being a father. But we meet in May. We talk about the weekend, and I kind of see who wants to do what this year, who wants to be in the camera crew, who wants to do this, and we come up with a sort of a tentative crew assignments with the knowledge that things are going to change, and depending on what genre we get, we might only need one camera person, we might need 3 cameras, all that kind of stuff is kind of subject to change. So this has got a few different. This year we had Dusty's little sister doing Slate for us, which was really fun. So I'll talk more about that later. But we had a great team, and this year almost the entire team were people that had graduated and just gone through their senior seminar project in Mass Comm. So it was really easy to assign roles because these kids had worked together a lot, and they had a really good relationship with each other, and we kind of knew what everyone's strengths were. And there's been years where I haven't had anyone that's really operated a DSLR camera or and this year that was not the case, so that was
I think
great.
just to piggyback on that, often when picking your team and gathering a team in exciting roles, you start to think in your head oh, we got this, we got 4 people, we can make it work. And bare bones, you maybe could make it work, but realistically, the more people that you have, the more options you have for crew, cast, anything that you're going to need. Maybe you need somebody to run to the store middle of the day, and if you've got everybody in costume ready to act, or everybody on camera and whatnot. So it's usually it's more to think about how many roles actually are needed on set, and then expanding on that, because you can't just get it done with just you, yourself, and a good friend. We've seen some films like that, but they don't usually bode very well for this style of filmmaking within 48 hours.
Absolutely. We have, if anything, we have the opposite. I'll have teams of 24 kids sometimes, and in the past, every year until this past summer, that has been a challenge for me because I'm wrangling students, and some students don't know what to do if they're not specifically assigned something, and so that can be a big time suck. But this year was amazing because Dusty was on my team and he was in charge of the crew, and it was I got to actually work with the actors in a way and concentrate on that, so that was fantastic. Loved it. So another way that other teams, if you wanted to start a team, gain potential actors or crew members is through meet and greets. And this is something that the local 48-hour producer, Bruce, sends out emails to everyone that registers. And so they have little events at bars or restaurants where you can just meet up and get people for your team. talked a little bit about our process, but in terms of actual filmmaking, so what happens is after we pick the genre and get all our elements, we disperse, and there's typically the camera crew, and then I have a few writers that I usually write with, and I only let one student come to the writing session typically, and the producer, so there's 2 students, but otherwise I've found that the writing can take too long because it's just, there's a lot of brainstorming, and so I like to have one person that's taken screenwriting, that's really interested in writing, to come along and participate, and then the producer. But other than that, if it's too many people, it just gets a little chaotic. So Dusty's team went and got all the equipment that you probably already had pulled, right?
Yeah, I mean, most things were ready to go.
Yeah, but loaded it up. And then the producer who's sitting with us is constantly in touch saying, like, we think we're going to film at, let's say, Highsmith. So the year that we shot that last film, Highsmith was under renovation. I don't know, somehow we were allowed to use it. Worked out. So we just stayed in the alumni hall all day. And that was really easy because we edited in the mass comm department in Carpin, and we were super all in the same place, and there were bathrooms, which was huge. So we loved that. So we try now since then to like sort of have one central location instead of driving, 24 people getting to a new location. You can lose an hour easily, just like deconstructing and then traveling and setting up again. So we try and now write something that's basically one location-ish. We write until we're done, until we're happy. And when that has ranged anywhere, I think the earliest we finished a script was maybe this year, and it might have been around before. It was like 12:30 or something. It was pretty early. We finished at like 4 before.
So just to speak
tough.
on that, what she means by that is like the start of the weekend is at 7 p.m. on Friday, and usually what happens is in the process, and I think most teams do this, not just UNCA's team, write Friday night immediately after they get everything until they're done writing, and then call time is Saturday morning as early as it need be. Usually it's around 7, and then you shoot until 7 p.m.-ish, maybe get a shower, grab something to eat, and then the edit team takes it over. And once the edit team takes it, they have until 7 p.m. on Sunday to actually get it turned all the way back in. So that's kind of the full weekend rush. And, you think like, step back and think about the weekend, you're like, oh, we made it happen, but it really is 48 hours seems to be very compressed. There's not that much time to get everything done.
Yeah.
Especially if, like Anne's saying, the script is written very, very complicated. There's a complex scene that has to be taken. It might take, 4 hours to get that one scene instead of a one location scene, which could take 1 hour. So.
Yeah, and we try to have people like loading our footage to anything that we've kind of learned along the way that can help to make things go faster. But one of the problems that has occurred is one with Stooges of War. That was a film that came together really, I want to say, pretty easily because we were in one location. We were getting stuff loaded while we were still shooting, and we actually had a rough cut done by 2 a.m. and I had gone home to sleep for a couple hours, and I got a call from the editor, and the UNCA computers were on their auto refresh, and they just wiped out everything, all of our footage, everything we did. So I came back in, and we reloaded all of our footage and recut it, and so like crazy stuff happens. One year, we have an amazing audio person from the community that helps us when he can. One year he was out of the country, and I had a really hard time finding someone to help me do the post audio. And like a friend of a friend of a friend, I don't know. Anyway, I got hooked up with this person who basically lived in a bunker in Leicester. And after spending 3 hours in this weird cement structure, I realized that he actually didn't know. He had worked with some bands, but he actually did not know anything about film audio. So then I quickly drove back, and we cut all the audio ourselves. But so there's just, you never know. And you just have to be prepared and flexible enough because something will happen every year. This year we had a huge gigantic thunderstorm when we were filming our film Love Conviction, and it was.
We were safe, but it was scary at points because we had extension cords running outside in the pouring rain, water's gathering up this much outside of the building.
Yeah. We were right by the river in Marshall, so it was pretty intense.
And actually this year, something similar happened to theirs last year in the computer just shutting off, but learning from previous mistakes and years' mistakes, we were able to edit, externally, and the computer shut down. Don't worry, everything's on a hard drive. We went to another computer and finished the project. If it not, though, it would have been gone again. And I mean, there are just problems, like Anne's saying, there's problems that you can't foresee, or you maybe can foresee and expect, but there's things that's going to happen in 48 hours because everybody's stressed, tired, and excited that you didn't see happening, and then you just have to roll with the punches usually, which makes it fun.
It makes it exciting. It's a lot of deep breathing that happens. So along with those problems, we've had a lot of success. We have won something every year, sometimes multiple things, and that's always fun. And it's, like I said before, it's fun to see the other teams that we have worked with and people that we know from the community also winning. And so some years they've had the big awards thing at the Fine Arts, which is pretty fun, and then sometimes they have it at Asheville Pizza, but that's always a good time. Yeah. So does anyone have any questions? I'm going to play our last film, but does anyone have any questions about the process or anything like that? This year, one of the last minute things was, I'll show it in a minute, but we got romance and or period piece. And so we're like, but we decided to do a 70s. Our period was the 70s. So as we were writing, somebody was like, oh, my friend has this really cool vintage bug. And like, let's just, text her at midnight and see if she'll drive it to Marshall tomorrow. And she did. She was awesome. So that was really fun for us. Okay, so this year our character was Grant or Gina McDonald, and they were a window washer, which probably was the most complicated thing about just trying to, you don't have to have a story that involves what the person's job is. I just kind of feel like I do because I feel like it makes it more fun. Some people might just totally toss that away and, have a line about it or not even address it at all. But the line of dialogue was, this isn't what I signed up for, which is pretty decent. A kite was the prop, and then that was our genre. What if I went to Vimeo? I want to play this. I want to play this full screen. Okay, so we have all of our films on our Vimeo page, which is Mass Communication UNCA. So if you want to check us out and like us, please do. And this is our film this year.
It's time.
I don't smoke.
Now, for you. All right, let's get going.
This isn't what I signed up for.
Look, you forfeited that right when you decided to go streaking on the Lord's Day, Graham McDonald. Now let's get going. Nope. 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 Look, I know from experience, women don't like a man in uniform. Now, come on.
You ever consider they just don't like you?
Nope.
Come a little closer. I feel a little light in the light track. I felt a bit of bad, but I came back. There's still a little light in the light track. There's still a bit of good. So good. Somewhere on the sea. It got a little longer, so it seems. I burned out, so to speak. Now come a little closer. I feel a little light in the light track. I felt a bit of bad, but I came back. There's still a little light in the light track. There's still a bit of good, so good.
Hey. Get on with it.
You know no one's coming, right?
Man, how do you know?
You do this job long enough, you know a thing or two about people. You, for instance. I didn't peg you for a streaker.
Well, you know, I'm just looking for love like everyone else. I reckon I figured it'd just be easier to bare my buns than bare my soul.
Sounds about right. Say, what were you gonna say to those ladies if they came anyways?
Oh, well, you know, I had a few ideas.
I'm listening.
Huh. All right. What's your most treasured memory?
My most treasured memory would probably be fishing with my pops. I caught one. Hand me a smoking congratulations. That's how I knew I was a man.
What's your relationship like with your mama?
How much time we got?
According to you, 30 days. Well, what's the song you listened to last?
Does Delta Dawn in the shower this AM count?
Yup.
Nope.
Oh. How does love and affection play into your life?
You know, I like that Bach symphony in the G minor.
Bach's Third Concerto in G minor.
When the sun's coming out,
those misty moments
right behind
when
the mountains,
sun comes
and it's
up
all
from
misty.
behind the mountain. The scent of
The
honeysuckle.
scent of honeysuckle.
Driving an 18-wheeler, I guess. Oh, I know everyone loves Farrah.
But I'm a Kate Jackson man.
Rainbow
Toe
toe
socks.
socks. And that's why the color green always makes me cry. Well, I reckon my perfect day, that would be flying a kite down by the railroad tracks.
Buddy, honey, what are you doing? You know I've been waiting for you to come over and help me hang my new macrame planters.
Mom, can't you see I'm working?
First off, tone, and B, can't you see there's a nice young lady sitting here waiting to talk to your convict?
How many macrame you make today?
17.
Ooh.
Where'd you learn to do that with the squeegee anyways?
I had a good teacher.
Oh, well, that's a silly question. What do you want to know that for? Do you ask all the girls that?
I don't know. Maybe like a year's supply of Aquanet?
See? I've always hated the color green.
Unless it's avocado green.
Paired with burnt sienna.
That looks real nice, my mom was saying.
Why would you fly a kite by the train tracks?
It's time.
Where's Buddy? I mean, where's the sheriff?
He had something else more important to do.
Yup.
Blueberry pie or apple? You know, I don't know what you're pontificating about, but how about this, peach cobbler or banana pudding?
Oh, I do love me banana pudding, but I just you okay?
Oh, I'm all right.
All right. You're tripping on rocks and stuff.
Oh, yeah, that's just how it goes.
Do you, what's the most skips you've gotten on a rock skip?
Ooh, most skips. I got 15, 20, somewhere in that range. What about you?
Oh, man, I get like 2.
I'll help you out next time.
Oh,
How about
thank you,
that?
thank you.
Yeah, I got a question. Where the hell are we? Where are we going? You know, I guess it don't really matter.
Yeah, so that's what we did this year. I think we got Audience Choice Award and sound effects editing and soundtrack and Best Actor for Jackson, who's still our student. He's the redhead. And one other one.
I don't know what all you said. I wasn't listening.
Okay. And one other one. I don't know. But yeah, so hope maybe you recognize some of those students that were, this year was basically all students except my friend Katie, who played the mom with a really horrible wig on. But yeah, I don't know. Is there any questions or?
How many teams usually compete?
Yeah, so between 24 and 34 usually. This year it was in the 20s. I don't remember the exact number this year.
I think there were 22 this year, and I think after all was said, not only 20 teams were able to enter or finish it, so to speak.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, it's always sad when you're at the drop off and you see someone that's exporting their video and they're just like waiting for it to download and the clock is ticking, and we've seen that happen almost every year. It's because you have to plan for that time. It used to be that you have to burn DVDs, and now thank God that stuff's gone. But you do have to export it and give it to them on a flash drive or something. So, yeah.
So beyond regionally, isn't this? I mean, is there a state or national?
Yeah, so so the 120 teams come together in what's called Filmapalooza, and so we've gone 3 times. We've won 3 times. Once it was in New Orleans, once it was in Taos, New Mexico, and then for Stooges of War it was in Paris. So for some reason UNCA did not send me. I don't know why, but we did have a student who had just graduated who was a producer, and she went on her own dime and represented us, which was really nice. And the pictures were amazing. I mean, they really did it up there. Yeah. What's your
How some of the people that are in it, do they all have their own equipment? Like, how do they, are some people just filming on their phones? Like, does it go that?
Do you mean per group?
Like different groups?
Yeah, different groups. I mean, honestly, yeah. So it's kind of like a standard of equipment that you need, right, to enter a team. I would say that we've probably seen several films of recent years filmed on iPhones.
Yeah. Yeah, with varying levels of audio is usually the hardest. If you're doing something like that, their audio's not too good. But when I first started, when I first had my own team in 2007, it would still be like a grandma and her grandson, because it was new enough that but now it's gotten increasingly competitive, and we're competing against production companies, especially in Europe. They throw some money. I remember the year that I went to New Orleans, the film that won was from the Netherlands, and they had this amazing drone shot. And this is when nobody had drones yet, and so so it kind of varies from very amateur, sometimes there's a Asheville high school team, and a production company. Yeah.
But not to be discouraged. There are some really good films made by people that do not do film at all, and they just do it once a year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, good storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Sorry.
What do you need to do to join? I mean, do you just walk in and say, I want to do this, or is there?
Yeah, well, so I think registration starts usually in May when they announce it. So I guess you either have to be visiting their website or be on their email list to know when registration is. And then, yeah, you just register a team. And Gene, you can join our team if you want to. Everyone is welcome.
There is a cost involved. I think that if you're an early, they call it early bird, or just like right up all the way until, I think you can actually register the day of starting if you walked up.
Yeah.
And you could just tell them, hey, here's my fee.
Yeah.
And I want to be a part of this. Yeah, you can register, but there's
like,
a fee, but it's not too bad.
I think it's like 148 if you do it early, and then it goes up to 150 or more. I don't know. We always do it early because we know we're going to do it typically. What was your question, Judy?
So when you go to that next level, it's with the same film. There's not another 48-hour.
It's with that same film and all of the little problems that didn't seem so big in Asheville. All of a sudden, when you get to Filmapalooza, it's like, oh. But it is really interesting to see the different films from around the whole world. And so, yeah. Like I said, and not all of them are amazing, but they're usually, I mean, it's been selected. Like sometimes if you go here in Asheville, it can be hit or miss, depending on the screening group that you're with, but there's always some good stuff. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And are the students mass comm students, all of them, or are there also theater?
There's also theater and sometimes new media. So this year and the year before this, Alpha Cardenas was a mass comm major, but was she also a new media minor? Yeah. So she did our graphics, and then most of the young women in this were drama students. Jackson is mass comm, but he's taken drama classes. Mason is just mass comm, but maybe that's obvious. I don't know. Yeah, so it's like I said, it's whoever. And sometimes, the students will ask their friends. So we might have some person that's, not from anything. Hannah Epperson, who was a mass comm student and is now in marketing department here. The year that she worked on it, she asked her brother to help out. So her brother was on it. So yeah, it's kind of fun. Any other questions? All right, well, thanks for coming. I appreciate it. Yeah.